VAR to the rescue, or was it just the right decision? It's not even VAR to the rescue. It needed VAR, but he's just got it right. That's all the ref's done. He's just got it right. He's looked through Darren England's analysis, and he's spot on. Genuinely, that's as much as you need to say. Now, look, let me address the situation. Arsenal, VAR goal, disallowed. And that potentially gives Arsenal the title. It also potentially relegates West Ham. A massive decision, probably the biggest ever VAR decision, especially in the Premier League. But let me just say, he's got it spot on. Now, people are arguing online, of course, as you do with controversy. A lot of people are saying Arsenal have been fouling all year. First of all, they haven't been fouling. They just have a lot of guys in the box. If you do call it a foul, is it the exact same as what they did to Raya today? Did they have an arm across his throat? Are they pulling his jersey? Are they blocking his hand? No, there's not a single Arsenal clip like that. The only remotely close one is 4 years ago. Ben White held a goalkeeper's arm. I think it was Leicester. And we scored. Guess what? It was chalked off. Foul. Exact same rules apply. But people really, really do not like Arsenal to win. I'm still trying to figure out why. Please explain that to me, because if it's about City not being a big enough club, and it doesn't matter if it's about people wanting to cope and say City are cheaters, whatever it is, if that's the reason that you hate Arsenal so passionately, it is just a bit interesting. Except I don't think it is, because people are praising City. They praise Bernardo Silva for football tackling people. That gets chalked off. Poor Everton might not make Europe because of that. And again, absolutely no talking about that. But apparently Arsenal, when Raya is just absolutely grabbed, it's everything. Now, where I'm going with this, yeah, it's a tough game. It was always a close one against West Ham. Every single time it was going to be a close one. And you do hate to see it decide like that. Genuinely, it was so emotional. I'm just sitting there like this. If you tie 1-1 to that, it's one of the worst feelings. And again, I don't like when Arsenal have to win games by corners. No one does. I don't think, I'll take the 3 points. I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'll accept it. But I just mean you don't like your team to have to, one, rely on corners. Not that I think we do, but sometimes if you score like that, it's annoying. That being said, I'm happy. And two, you just don't want to be winning by 1 goal each time. I think we have the talent and the quality to win by a lot more. That being said, sometimes it has to happen. Sometimes it has to happen, and I respect it. And West Ham's on a team that I want to see, be punished. But at the end of the day, he's made the right call. That's as simple as it is. Now, please help me explain why people don't like Arsenal, because I'm genuinely, I try to wrap my head around this every time. If it's the history of the club and it's being a larger club than City and people would prefer City, that might be one argument. Two, they just chalk off City's wins because of the oil money, the 115 charges, and they're chalking off up to cheating. I don't know, but at the same time, I don't see either of these narratives. I just see people saying I hate Arsenal, and the thing is, no one has reasoning. Genuinely, not a single person has reasoning. If you say it's the fans, it's just passionate fans. If you say it's the football style, again, we've seen other teams be praised for a more defensive approach. And again, you have City, Bernardo Silva, rugby tackling people. How is that being praised? Genuinely, boys, I'm trying to understand this. That being said, if we're talking about the Arsenal-West Ham game, can we just say our start was unreal? We were unlucky with some of the injuries, but Odegaard off the bench, massive impact. Trossard, very clutch player. It was always going to be a tough game. Genuinely, it was always going to be tough. But I think people saying, and Mateus Fernandes, I thought he was very good, but it was a good Raya save. Fernandes probably buries that more often than not. But yeah, we got fortunate. A lot lined up, and we obviously have Burnley and Palace next. Still 2 winnable games, but it's going to be hard, and they need full focus. Yeah, lots to digest here, boys. Genuinely, there's lots going on. Obviously, City have their game in hand against Palace. They might be on the beach, I don't know, but they're preparing for their Europe final, so that's obviously more important. But yeah, lots more to come soon, boys. More reactions, more analysis, more of my game highlights. I'm excited to show you, but really just, my head's scrambling. Just an interesting one. Very, very interesting game. It was always going to be close. That's all I can say. Genuinely, it was always going to be close. And it comes down to this, a very, very important VAR decision. that I think they've got it spot on. That's as simple as that. I think people are losing their minds about it, saying it's a disgrace, saying this, saying that. But it's really just the narrative, the agenda, that it didn't go the way that they wanted, and the way that they wanted was for any decision against Arsenal without logic, as it always is. But of course, the bias has clouded their judgment, and all of a sudden it's a disgrace, even though they've walked through it perfectly, analyzed it, and made the right call. Again, Arsenal had the exact same situation, and it was chalked off. I imagine if Arsenal scored a goal like that today, every single person online would have been saying it's a foul. So it goes both ways. Please let me know what you think. Cheers.